Welcome back to Twin Terror. I'm David.
And I'm Gary.
And today we are going to talk about what's going to happen on Monday.
Monday.
It's not going to be the drag races on Sunday, that's for sure.
No, it's going to be a drag on Monday. So
yeah, somebody's going to get dragged on Monday. So Zelensky is supposed to meet with Trump in Washington, D.C.
I'm not sure where
I'm assuming that's where it's going to. Sorry, I got the hiccups. I'm assuming that's where it's going to be.
In Alaska. Maybe it'll be in Greenland.
So we just did a reading on Trump and Putin and the fiasco that was that. And we seemed to come away feeling that Trump and Putin had a plan in place on how to proceed, how to go forward. And the last time Trump met with Zelensky in D.C., he and J.D. Vance took turns body slamming this guy, telling him he had no cards to play and stuff like that. After this this brilliant summit on Friday, Trump was talking with Sean Hannity, and Hannity basically asked Trump, what are you going to say to Zelensky with regards to this? And Trump's quote was something akin to, capitulate. Russia's a big, strong country. Make a deal, basically. Russia's a big, strong country, and you're not. Make a deal and be done with it. I guess Trump just wants his Nobel Peace Prize.
He wants a piece of something. So Zelensky is meeting in D.C. So hopefully Zelensky learned from last time to come in glowing and gushing about how wonderful Donald is. And thank you so much for having that summit in Alaska and thinking of me and bringing me over here and to meet with me. And I'm so proud of all the support that you've given us in the past. I mean, Zelensky is an actor. He could pull it off, so we'll see how that, and that's kind of what I want to read on is how is Zelensky's feeling now? How is he going to approach Trump, and how is that meeting going to go? Because you know how it goes with Trump, and we talked about it on the video that came out on Sunday, which we recorded 15 minutes ago. Whoever's the last to whisper in Trump's ear gets their way.
Yeah.
So
I was going to update that interview with Sean Hannity. Trump signaled that he and Putin had discussed land transfers and security guarantees for Ukraine and had largely agreed. And quote, I think we're pretty close to a deal. Ukraine has to agree to it. Maybe they'll say no. Asked what he would advise Zelensky to do, Trump said, got to make a deal. Look, Russia is a very big power, and they're not.
Yeah. So basically, Putin wants the Donbas region. All the dirt that he grabbed, he wants to keep it.
Yeah, and he only has 3/4 of it. He wants the last quarter that he doesn't have. One of the stories I was reading, there were a couple of fortress cities that are still in Ukrainian control, and that basically acts as a deterrent to prevent Russia from pushing forward into Ukraine. So if you give those up when basically Russia has regrouped and reconstituted itself, they now can launch from those points, and they don't have to take over those fortress type cities. So it'll make it even easier for them to take the rest of Ukraine if they want to.
Yes, I just saw this black shadowy thing approaching you. I thought maybe Spirit was. Oh, it's just Nico. Never mind. Yeah. Yes, there he is.
The shadow creatures are infiltrating my office. This is like the third time today he's jumped up on the table.
Yes.
So I will turn it over to you to read into the energy about the Putin. I guess it might as well be the Putin Zelensky meeting in D.C. will go.
Yeah, I'm going to start with how Zelensky's doing. Hey, folks, I'm going to start with how is Zelensky doing, and kind of what's going to be his tactic for Monday. So for entertainment purposes only. Okay, how's Zelensky doing, and what kind of a tactic is he looking to approach Trump with? Okay. How's he doing? Temperance, trying to keep his cool. I guess, he had to know that this was pretty much how it was going to happen. Zelensky in Ukraine and the European leadership, especially President Macron from France, they were warning Trump, don't trust anything Putin tells you. He's not trustworthy. Don't believe him. And of course, Trump drank all the Kool-Aid and came out saying, that, as David said, they kind of have a concept of a peace agreement. But so right now it's temperance. He's kind of getting his balance back. It's not a surprise. So what are the actions that are going to come forward from that? The cross is the Queen of Swords. He needs to get his truth out there. Putin put his truth in Trump's ear. Now it's Zelensky's turn to put his truth out there. The energy underneath is the Page of Wands. He needs to get his message out there. I mean, Ukraine doesn't have the manpower that Russia has, but the manpower they have is a much better fighting force, and they're fighting defensive. They're not fighting offensively. So he has to get his message out there, get his actions out there. In the past, you have the Knight of Wands, taking actions, moving things forward. He and Trump had made a lot of progress in their relationship. Current energy is the Seven of Swords. Now he needs to take the initiative, take the weapons that Putin was giving to Trump to attack Ukraine's position on this. He needs to basically get in there and disarm Trump from the stuff that Putin gave him to fight with. Overarching energy is the Empress. Ukraine is the breadbasket of those Eastern European countries. There's a lot of value there. This is a valuable country. Yeah, they don't have the population of Russia, but they've got quality instead of quantity. This could also be, the specter of Russia over these talks. The lesson to be learned is the Five of Swords. No one to fight, no one to walk away. But if you're going to fight, you need to fight to win. And the outcome is the Three of Pentacles, a very interesting card. So I think Zelensky is going to try and work with his collaborative, do a collaborative approach with Trump. We have lots of things of value in the Ukraine. And, we could be partners. We can make this all happen. I mean, they've already kind of got an agreement on some of these rare earth minerals. So maybe Trump just forgot about that. He's got the attention span of a fruit fly. So, he might just need to remind him of some of the agreements and some of the partnerships that they had in the past.
All right, gotta pause. All right, cat's addressed.
Did you prepare to feed the cat?
I did.
Did you fire Mrs. Nesbitt?
I wish I fired Mrs. Nesbitt. It'd be all better if I did that.
Yes, indeed.
What's going to be the energy like for Zelensky? Is this going to be a repeat of the Trump-Vance ambush like happened the first time? Again, let's be entertained. Entertainment purposes only. Again, what do I know? I'm just some random dude on the internet throwing tarot cards and interpreting them. Page of Cups.
Not
it's
going
to be weird. It's going to be weird. Okay, so Trump is going to ask Zelensky, or there's going to be a weirdness about the offer. And again, it's the stinky fish in the cup, as Hogarth would say. So it would be something like, okay, well, whatever the offer is, it's not to be believed because it's a corrupt offer. So like, again, if Zelensky had to cede the Donetsk in the Donbass region and give up like his fortress cities, it's going to be a victory for Putin, and then he's going to be set up for failure when Russia reignites their offensive. Whatever is being offered is not acceptable. It's corrupt, and he's going to be pressured to accept it and end the war. No, he's going to be told this is good for everybody, and he's looking at this offer like, you've got to be kidding me. In the past, we got Senator McWan's Zelensky fighting Ukraine, holding off the much larger Russian army, and doing a very good job of it. Current situation is the Four of Wands. However, with regards to ceasefires and peace plans and stuff like that, he's been cut out of the process. And then when they offer him these cups, they all reek of rotten fish in there. It's not acceptable. It just isn't acceptable, and he's going to refuse to accept it. Overarching energy is the Three of Swords. The U.S. is supposed to be a strong ally of Ukraine, and they absolutely aren't. Putin controls Trump, and it's a backstabbing. There's just nothing good is going to come out of this. The lesson to be learned is the Eight of Coins. Zelensky had worked, and Gary brought this one up again, rare earth mineral deals and stuff along those lines. I'd be surprised if Trump isn't going to threaten to put tariffs on Ukraine and embargoes on Ukraine if Ukraine doesn't agree to it. There might be a money threat here, or withholding of funding for Ukraine, or things of value like intelligence. Yikes. Outcome is going to be the Nine of Cups. I don't think this is going to be Zelensky leaving feeling like he's gotten everything he wanted. I do think Trump is going to come across as smug, but this is almost like Putin is laughing at this process on how easy it is to manipulate Donald Trump and get the U.S. doing what Russia wants it to do. There's an immaturity, just an absolute immaturity where Trump thinks he's got the goods on Zelensky, and it's driven by greed and wealth.
Okay, so I want to look at how Zelensky, Trump, and Putin are feeling after this meeting on Monday. So, okay, how is Zelensky feeling? He's not believing what's happening here. He can see the deceptions that are being placed in front of him. The main clarifier is the Nine of Pentacles. Basically told, if you just go ahead and believe what I'm telling you, you're going to be prosperous and everything will be fine for you. Opportunity for new things of value, making money, and we'll make lots and lots of money. So basically, Trump's pitching to Zelensky, we can make a lot of money. Zelensky's walking away thinking, this is what Trump thinks I want. He thinks I'm just interested in money and, making Ukraine a money wealthy country.
That might be a really insightful spread there, just because Trump thinks everybody thinks and values the things he does. And Zelensky, you're the leader of the country. What are you worried about these people for? Look at all the money you can make and skim off of contracts rebuilding.
Yeah. For Trump,
beyond your dreams.
For Trump, you got the Ten of Swords. He wants to put an end to the fighting. And I'm the emperor, and I think I've got the power to do it. Temperance, that's an interesting card. He wants a fair and balanced solution to this.
I've been waiting long enough.
Yeah, that's probably more it.
Yeah, I've been waiting long enough from what I want. It's my turn to get what I want.
Yeah, and you have to listen to my truth. So he feels like he's gotten his truth out there. Now, how is Putin looking at this? Putin's looking at all the things of value he can get in the future. He's got a little bit of Ukraine right now, but he wants a lot more of it. He's ready to take some new actions. he's looking ahead as to what actions he can take, and he's just trying to find his path forward to take those actions. So how are they feeling coming out? Zelensky's feeling like he was just pitched a whole bunch of ways to make money. Trump wants this thing to be over so he can get his peace prize. And Putin's out there. He's looking for his next conquest.
Right.
One country down. I've got more actions to take. I'll figure out who I'm going to take him against. And I just will start my path forward on that. This is kind of one of those, okay, Poland has fallen. Now who's the next? What's the next country I'm going after?
The problem is Poland hasn't fallen. He's just
no. Talking that was a World War II reference.
Oh no, that's what I mean. But if you're using Ukraine as the analogy for Poland, Poland hasn't fallen in this war because he doesn't have all of Ukraine yet.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
But I mean, the next steps are the Baltics. He'll go for the Baltics next, but I think he needs to have Ukraine in order to go after the Baltic states.
Yeah, the problem is he won't be able to control Ukraine. He can't occupy Ukraine. His army can't even take over Ukraine, much less occupy it. So he's looking at who's going after next. To your point, the Baltics are next, or whichever region he wants to go over next over there.
No, you might be right, because Estonia and Latvia share a border with Russia, and Belarus shares a border with Lithuania, and Russia also has a slice of land above Poland, which is next to Lithuania. So maybe if he secured with Ukraine, he secured his port in the Black Sea. Maybe he goes after the Baltic states next. Yeah. Take a look. Would Putin use this as a way to reconstitute his army so he can invade the Baltic states? Might be a little easier this time. You know what I mean? Just roll those guys over like dominoes. What's his plans? What is Putin's plans for the Baltic states? Yeah, it's going to be a blitzkrieg. And force them to an agreement under the threat of invasion. Mother Russia underneath that. In the past, you got the King of Wands. I need to sort of
Those
check
are almost all the cards I threw on Trump and Putin from their summit.
Hey, take a look real quick. See if the Baltic states are in NATO. Because if it is, this is pointless reading, because you're talking Article 5 at that point, unless they feel like NATO's Article 5 isn't going to be upheld here. I'm going to pause just for a second while we sort that out. Okay, so yes, they are part of NATO. So if you attack those countries, then
that would be really, really bad.
Yeah, then NATO is obligated in Article 5 to join in the fight. So there's kind of it's like the threat of that attack and showing how NATO didn't help out Ukraine. They're trying to get some better terms with the Baltic states. I don't know how that would play out, though. But in the past, you got the King of Wands. This is Putin's big idea, their big plan. This is, oh, by the way, having the U.S. pull out of NATO was to weaken NATO, and with the immigration is to make NATO try and isolate their individual countries and weaken the agreements between all of them. That was part of the plan. Current situation is the plan is not ready to be implemented. That's a problem. I mean, it's still on paper, like the idea of how we would do this, but they haven't broken up NATO yet. Overarching energies, the Seven of Wands. The thought is that NATO would get weary of supporting Ukraine. And again, with the mass migrations going on, that they don't want to spend the money or the resources protecting other nations. All the nations united in a fight against one country, in this case, Russia. Lesson we learn is the Chariot. I think, though, as this war grinds on, this could have been the blitzkrieg that would agree to it. Russia's coming. They're a strong army. They're going to grind us, and we should capitulate. But I think what's happening is that because Ukraine stood its ground and has fought these guys to a standstill, that Russia can't just plow through and roll everybody like dominoes. Outcome is going to be the Knight of Cups. Putin's best play at this point with the Baltic states is to set up trade agreements or other agreements with them, being the false friend. Almost he would be better off manipulating the elections, getting pro-Russian leaders in the Baltic states that want to get closer to Russia. And, it would be better, like the United States. It's better to rot them out from the inside so that they would rather capitulate and agree to closer ties with Russia than to actually have to fight them, because Article 5 is still a thing.
All right, so I just threw three cards face down. How is Zelensky, Trump, and Putin feeling about this 6 months from now? Zelensky, he's living the dream. He's enjoying the high life. Trump, Page of Pentacles. That's an interesting card. He has some new ideas to bring forth. And Putin, he's working behind the scenes. So this is not telling me a whole lot, other than that's a really positive card for Zelensky. It's almost like he bought into Trump. Whatever Trump's pitching, he's buying into it.
What makes you think that the latter two are even in power 6 months from now?
Well, that's a good point, because the Page of Pentacles could be there's a new person in charge here, and this could also be meeting to discuss the replacement. It's very dark in this card.
Yeah.
They're in the cellars. To me, it's like the best card is for Zelensky on that. 6 months from now, Zelensky's in a much better position.
I think that's a reasonable thing. Trump is, pitching ideas on how to grift things. Send me money. I'm got great ideas. I got the best ideas.
Yes.
And Putin's asleep. Putin's taking a dirt nap.
Yeah, that could be the old Swan Lake has been playing, and they're trying to figure out who's going to take over.
Exactly. All right. Anything else you want to throw on this?
No, that's enough for me.
I give you kudos for creative spreads.
Oh, thanks.
All right. Thank you, everybody, for watching this video and supporting our channel. We do appreciate it.
Yeah, if you like these videos, give us a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit the bell. We'll wake you up with a new video every night at midnight. And leave a comment. I read them all.
In response to none.
I respond to many of them.
The other thing he does is give out shout outs at the end of our videos.
Yes. And the first one I want to give out to is to Agent 00 Kevin.
00 Kevin, you've got the sword, Bond. Defend the crown.
That's a great name. Shirley Parker. Hi, Shirley.
Da, 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 da. We'll give you judgment.
And then, another great name, Todd's World of Cooking. Yay! Ooh.
Grab the bastoni by the handle.
That's right. That's Todd's version of the wooden spoon. It looks like it might be more painful.
Mix that batter.
All right. So, and then I want to give a special shout out to Phoebes. I want to read the comment. As a mother of twins, I never gave them a combo gift or matching outfits unless requested, generally for shenanigans. You know what? Phoebes 1444 or Phoebes 14, we appreciate that. And
there's this cop out where it's like, well, if I give them one, then the other might be jealous because they think the other guy got a better one. There's a small amount of truth to that, but there's a whole lot of truth to them striving to be their own person, and you're always mashing them together when you don't allow for that.
That's right. So, Phoebes, you got the Two of Wands.
Both of them.
You understand that it's important that they each get their own item, unless they request a duplicate. Now, Dave and I do sometimes request duplicates. I think the last time I remember us doing that was at Disneyland.
The Tigger shirts.
Yeah, the Tigger shirts. When was it Mom's 70th birthday? I guess yeah, it was Mom's
Yeah, it's
70th
Mom's 70th.
birthday. And Dave and I got matching Tigger shirts, and we looked a lot more alike then too. We're about the same weight and everything. So, and then a card for the rest of us, the Page of Wands. Let's get out there and get your message out. That's what we got.
All right. Thank you everyone for watching this video, and we'll catch you on the next one. Take care.
Take care, folks. Bye.